Hello, and welcome to the overview for paper B. It's finally being produced. As mentioned before, when I created the class, a while back in the semester last semester, when I thought about the class, I wanted us to go and do observations at the daycare on campus, and then the paperwork involved was pretty intensive, and the new rules, that would be okay. I love paperwork, but the new rules about when and how long and all that stuff seemed a little bit too structured for our class since it's fully online, and I just didn't think it was fair to force people to come at certain hours to do this assignment when the online class is meant for you to do whenever. So I've had a lot of fun thinking about and creating a new paper that I just sent out to you. Here's a little guy who stars in it. Okay, it's only 2 pages. But the idea behind the paper is for you to think about play and demonstrate your knowledge and understanding about play in all areas that we're going to cover in our class. Okay, so let me go over, if you have the assignment now, if you've printed it out, go ahead and take it out now, I guess. Otherwise, follow along later when you realize I'll be going over it. Okay, so the paper is about 5 to 6 pages long, double spaced, 12-point font. You can be try not to make it longer than that. This is like, we got a lot to grade. But definitely you could, probably the shortest you could make it and still cover what you need to cover is about 4 pages. So aim for about 5. And you'll upload and attach that worked well last time. So just attach your upload your paper to the assignment tool by Sunday, March 18th by midnight. Okay, that's when our other paper was going to be due, more or less. If there's some issue, it's spring break. So I'd rather you not work during spring break and let me work, as in grade your papers. But if there's, problems or issues, I'm happy to be flexible, as long as you're flexible with the subsequent grading that I got to do. Okay, but let's aim for Sunday, March 18th by midnight. So there's a few different sections to the paper, and this is what page 2 looks like. I feel like you're always looking kind of just at my face. So if I can add something, I will do so. Okay, so the introduction is about a page. Okay, and so, and yes, do for sure use the subheadings that I provide for you. It will really organize your paper, and it'll make it really clear for me to see what you've done in the paper, what you haven't done. So your introduction is your way of demonstrating what is your understanding of play, and that's based on the course material from the unit. Okay, so you want to cite, cite, cite. That's the name of the game here, people. And if you saw the model papers for paper A, you'll know just what I mean. All right, next section is analyzing play memories. And you're going to go and investigate the postings of Forum 2 for this class, which I think you're going to find really interesting because, number one, you've already done some of that work. So I was really inspired by all the discussions, and that's why I wanted to add a page in which choose 3 themes that you read. So, try to read as many postings as you can of the original ones. You don't have to read the analysis responses. Okay, that's not as important right now, although sure will help you for this paper. But read all the people's first postings, okay? From there, decide on what are 3 interesting themes that you saw across the postings, okay? So this means you need to be able to make sure you have read enough and have 3 let's see, I can't get this to show, 3 analytical points for your, this section is just about a page, okay? So it should have 3 paragraphs. It says theme number 1, theme number 2, theme number 3. Tell me what your theme is. Use evidence from the postings that you read. So say, for example, so-and-so spoke, wrote about this, and this other person wrote about this, and this seemed to be a really big part of play. And then you could say that as a transition to your next paragraph, secondly, the next kind of interesting theme I saw was blah 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 blah, and then use evidence from the postings to demonstrate it. So that's about 1 page, 3 paragraphs. Okay, next section is now, okay, so you're giving your take on play. Then you're going to the class. Now we're going out, okay, into the research world. And I've located lots of great articles from all around the world. And I'm on a listserv, an international listserv on childhood. And I put out a call saying, I'm doing this paper. I need some articles. I need some tips. Not tips, but websites, whatever, for this. So I'm going to give you a big pool of papers, research, all that good stuff. And you can go out and find some yourself too, in which to do the next section, which is called Understand Play Research Studies. So I want you to read/skim through all the various studies I will post. This will all be located in week 8 of Cougar courses. Okay, I haven't posted them yet, but they're all in my computer at work. So I think I'm going to be going there tomorrow. So I'll upload them to week 8. Read and skim through all of them. Okay, that might sound like a lot, but actually what you're looking for is pulling out kind of interesting findings, interesting statements, a paragraph that catches your attention. Because what you're going to do in the next section, that's called Understand Play Research Studies, is you're going to choose 5 themes across all these research studies. And by the way, the studies that I assigned for this class are also eligible. Okay, so readings you've already done. So these aren't reading like read for specific whatever. No, these are for you to read and skim, so that what is catching your eye, what looks interesting, what speaks to you. Okay, so choose 5. This will mean 5 paragraphs, 5 themes, or 5 ideas that really spoke out to you once you read as much as this as you could read. Then in each paragraph for this section, you will you'll give me the evidence. Like, okay, well, why was this interesting? Why did you choose this? And discuss. And it shouldn't be you just read 5 studies and you're going to have 5 points. No, you want to have 1 point and then maybe include 1 or 2 or even more, if you really want to be amazing. Include more studies to talk about within the paragraph. Okay, so that's about 2 pages. The next section is designing your own study. And that is, now we're bringing it back to you. Okay, now we're bringing it back to you kind of where we started. And that's where I want you to take about a page to think about what kind of study would you do, given all that you've learned. What methods would you use? What ethics would you run into, ethical problems? And you will be reading about methods and ethics for that week, for a week that we're going to have. I think it's week 7. So this may sound like, oh my gosh, I don't even know what you're talking about. But you will actually find out this information through, through Cougar courses. You'll have this already by the time you really start working on this part of the paper. Okay, that's about a page. The conclusion is just a paragraph, a chunky paragraph, about a half a page. And I want you to really reflect on what's the one thing that you're taking away from this project paper unit on play. The one thing, and then, elaborate. Okay, it's not just one sentence, is one paragraph. So elaborate on what is the thing that you're taking away. Why did you choose that one? And then there's a bibliography. The bibliography is mainly for the readings that you are citing and using in your paper. Now, in the paper itself, you hopefully will use a lecture, you're going to use forum material, whatever. Those you just have to be sure, maybe some film. You have to just be sure that you cite within the text. So, for example, in lecture, Dr. Ibáñez or MCI or however you're talking about it wrote this, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so just cite the date or the lecture title or something right in the text. Okay, don't worry about making it into bibliography. And that is it. I'm right about 10 minutes. That went really fast for me. The main idea is cite, 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 use course material, and think about play. Okay, so I'm going to upload this and then I'll be in touch soon online. Thanks.